today. From Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Denver Broncos taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the Mile High air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Nix to throw right away. And this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You look at this Steeler defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Inside the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for him for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run once more with Taylor. He takes this for 3 to the 29. This defense for the Steelers, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Now Jones. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score. and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Been a nightmare of a first quarter for him. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. As he starts again here, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. You look at this Steeler defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And there for the stop defensively, Nick Bonito. Now 2nd and 9. Throwing, Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, That's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
1st and 10, Taylor now. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Nix to the air. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. So this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Pardon, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now Jones. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Collier. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
That is caught and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st down, Collier. Got a result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Collier. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the route is on. It's 24-0. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. To throw, here's Nix. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Inside the 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Nix. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Nix to throw again. Shorts on the reception over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will do it for this first half. Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
To throw on second down, Jones. And he rifles one incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Back to throw. Jones. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. Collier. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Throwing on 1st and 10 is Nix. Shorts has got it. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Taylor.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Taking it right down Broadway. Now he's free at the 35. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. 47 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. There on the stop was Leo Chanel.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 2nd down, it's Nix. Finding Harris over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver. Throwing Nix. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Broncos are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll run on 1st down. It's Collier, and he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On second down now, it's Collier, and he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Collier. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Rolling to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Collier. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That'll give them 8 that time. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Simple drag route here. Lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Denver's offense now set to go. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. To throw is Nix. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Looking to throw. Nix. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Fielded at the 33. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Throwing on 2nd down, Nix. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. That's complete to Parker Washington. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I
today. From Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the
NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in the end zone, and no run back forthcoming, so they will bring it out to the 30-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. 10 carries, 51 yards.
Well, partner, we've watched as they've reached 2 wins, 3 wins, 4, and then 5. And we kept questioning each week, how long can they keep this streak going? This team is rolling, and having someone like this who can really set the tone for your offense week in and week out is a big part of why they've been unbeatable as of late.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. You look at this Steeler defense. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide?
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The Steelers at 8-1 on the year. They come in here hot. I mean, over the last 9, Charles, they are 8-1.
And that record, the way that they're playing, they've proven to me, and I think anyone else in the league, that they're able to go toe-to-toe with anyone, and they look forward to the challenge.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there, with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Now Etienne to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4. You look at this Colt defense, and they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes even a 10th to try and stop them from running the ball.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
There he goes, left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, here's the downside, a turnover.
Yeah, because you want so badly to get the ball in the hands of your receivers, let him try and create something. I think that when he took the handoff, he was thinking something big. Instead, he didn't feel the pressure, and the ball came free.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Following the fumble recovery, Jones sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st down, Collier. And he's got it to about the 40.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Jones got his man. It's Williams. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10. Off the play fake, Jones. He finds his man, complete. It's Peterson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now.
Touchdown! It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded in the end zone with no move to bring it out. So it'll be a touchback, and that ball will be placed at the 30. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That complete to Downs. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a play fake here on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Jones now. A final shot before break. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. So we have come to halftime. Halftime open. No problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And the half will begin with a touchback. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. It's Williams on the catch. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Jones to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Jones on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Now Jones off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. It's complete to Williams. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw on 3rd down. Jones. That is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll start on the ground, Etienne. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. Penalty stings big time there, wipes away a very good return.
And they work on it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work. Try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second and 7. Operating from the gun, Jones. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. This offense so far on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Still third down. Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and 10. Off play action. Jones. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow. Right there.
Mike Tomlin has reached for that red challenge flag, and he'll throw it out there. Taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game. And that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Back to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Tackle made by Tyree Wilson.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Collier, and now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Looking to throw. Jones. And And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So on fourth down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They go play action here on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. Back to throw again.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 46 yards.
And the Colts are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Now for the point after. And it's 17-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
They've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now Jones. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. Charles, in these lower-scoring games, you know it better than anybody. Points are at such a premium, but taking care of the football is king. They played turnover-free from whistle to whistle, and they come through with a victory.
Yeah, and that's what won them the game, because even doing it that way, being that clean, partner, they weren't able to really run away with this game. So that tells us just how important it was to make sure you played mistake-free football. That led to the victory.
So for the Steelers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.